Hi everyone, I am Bhumika Rathi. Welcome to my channel. On this channel, we are doing practices for competitive exams in which I am going to cover your English grammar at the very first. And here we are continuing our topic nouns. So let's see today's topic that we have, the use of apostrophe with noun. So let's see the first rule that we have. The rule number 1 says, apostrophe is used for the possessive case. So let's see the possessive case with the living beings. Alright, we will use the apostrophe with the living beings. Alright, let's see. So here we have an example, Mohan's book. Here Mohan is living instead of book. So we will use apostrophe s with Mohan instead of book. Alright, so Mohan's book. Then second example we have cow's horn. So here cow is living, horn is not living. Alright, it's non-living. So we will use apostrophe s with cow. Then we have the third example as woman's purse. So woman is living and purse is non-living. So we will use apostrophe and s with woman instead of purse. Now let's see the rule number 2 that we have. The rule number 2 says, if a plural word that ends with the letter s, then while using the apostrophe, add s to that. Alright, we will just add apostrophe to it. Now let's see the examples that we have. So here, this is the plural noun that we have, boys college. So here, instead of adding apostrophe and then s that as we usually do here, it becomes wrong. So instead of adding s to it, we will just add apostrophe to it. Then we have girls school. Here girls are plural word, so we will just add apostrophe to it and we will not add s to that. Alright, girls school. Then we have working women's hostel. So here we have add apostrophe and s. So let me clear you. Here women's. These are the plural form of women. So we don't have hissing sound at the end. I'll tell you in the next rule. Alright, in the later on rules that we will see. So with women we have added apostrophe and s. Alright, so women's hostel. Now let's see more. Rule number 3 says, a noun ending with a hissing sound like s, so s will not be added to it. Alright, let's see some examples that we have. For goodness sake. So here hissing sound at the end. For goodness sake, Ganesh book. For Jesus sake, for conscience sake, for peace sake. So at the last we have a hissing sound. So we won't add s to them. We will just add apostrophe at the end. Alright. So as you can see here, we have added apostrophe in all of them. But if we don't have a hissing sound at the end, as we can see in the above example that we have, like this, God's sake. So here at the end, in this, the word God, we don't have a hissing sound. So we will add apostrophe and s to that. Alright. Now moving on to the next rule that we have is, rule number 4. Rule number 4 says, apostrophe is not used with the possessive pronouns. So pronouns we will see in the coming up videos. Alright, like his, hers, yours, ours and theirs. Alright, so let's see examples. In yours faithfully, so in this word yours, this is a possessive pronoun that we have and we won't add apostrophe and s to it. Alright, we will just write yours faithfully. Then we have yours truly as the next example. So moving on to the next rule that we have, rule number 5. Rule number 5 says, with these following titles, the apostrophe is added only to the last word. Alright, to the last word we will just add apostrophe. Alright, for example we have commanders in chief as the example. Alright, so in these commander of chief we will just add apostrophe here and s to it. Alright, so it becomes commander in chief's orders. Alright, then second example we have my son-in-law's sister. So here to the last word that we have in this title, we will add apostrophe in s. Alright, now moving on to the next rule that we have, rule number 6. Alright, rule number 6 says, with non-living things, we won't add apostrophe s to it. Instead of that, we will use of. Alright, we will use of. Let's see these examples. Instead of saying table's leg is wrong, we will use the leg of the table. Alright, we will use of instead of apostrophe. Now moving on, we have more for rule number 6. So these are the exceptions. Let's see. When this is the first one, the first exception for the rule 6 that we have. When personification of a non-living thing is done. Personification is a figure of speech that I will tell you later in the coming up videos. Alright, we will discuss that. So here we have an example, sun's fury. Alright, then we have nature's love. So here we will add apostrophe to that. Alright, then in the second one, second exception we have for the rule 6 is, with nouns related to time, date and distance, we will add apostrophe to them. Let's see, a day's leave. So here with days we have used apostrophe. Then we have more, arm's length, then a pound's weight. For 7 o'clock we haven't added any s to that, we have just add apostrophe to it. All right. Then we have more. The third one that we have, with some respectable nouns. All right. What are respectable nouns? Like these one, court's order, duty's call. All right. These are the examples as you can see. Then we have the fourth one we have is with some phrases. Which are phrases? Like these are the phrases that we have. Now let's see them. At once, wits, and. All right. So here with once we have used, and with wit we have used apostrophe s. Then we have more, within a stone's throw. All right. Here we have used apostrophe with non-living thing, which is stone. All right. Then we have the fifth one, with geographical bodies we will use apostrophe. So here we have an example, Earth's atmosphere. So with earth I have used apostrophe. Now moving on to the next rule that we have, rule number 7. Rule number 7 says don't use double apostrophe. All right. So we won't use twice. All right. Apostrophe won't be used twice. So let's see. Instead of these using twice, we will say the mother of my wife's secretary has expired. So for the second one, as you can see here, we have use of. All right. Now moving on to the next one, we have the rule number 8 says we can use apostrophe and s with anybody, nobody, everybody, somebody, anyone, someone, no one, and everyone. All right. Let's see some examples that we have. So with everyone, as I told you in these examples, we will use apostrophe and s with that. So let's see. Everyone's concern is no one's concern. So here we have used apostrophe s, and here we have also used with no one. Here with everyone and here with no one. Then we have everybody's business is nobody's business. So with everybody here I have used, and with nobody's. All right, I have used. Now let's see. For rule number 8, there is some more. Yes, if else is a word that is being used after nobody, somebody, everybody, no one, someone. All right, else is being used, then apostrophe will be added with else. All right, instead of somebody, nobody, everybody. All right, as you can see in these examples, I can rely on your words, not somebody else. So here I have used with else, not with somebody. All right, then we have a second example, I obey your orders and nobody's else. So instead of using with nobody, I have used with else, as you can see in this rule. Now moving on, that we have writing somebody. Yes, writing somebody's else will be wrong, and writing nobody's else will be wrong, as you can see. All right. So this is all for today. Meet in the next video with new rules. Thank you.